Hey guys, welcome to Top 5 Niches of the Week, episode 192. This is a themed episode. You're going to see why in a second, but there is one niche we're going to really dig deep into because it is in such high demand right now that I really think we should be focusing on it. So let's get to it. By the way, sorry for posting this video a little bit later than normal. The internet was out this morning, but finally got it back. So let's kick things off with an Amazon merch sales update. In the last 7 days, I made 246 Amazon merch sales for $660 profit in the US market and probably another 150 across international markets. Definitely a slow week. Things ebb and flow, guys. People have been asking me why the sales were low this week. I don't necessarily know. It could be a lot of things, but this is why I evaluate everything on a 12-month sales cycle, so I don't get too worried about 1 week. If you want to follow me on Instagram, by the way, link in the description. I post daily sales updates to my story. All right, let's look at emerging trends first. We don't normally do this till later in the episode, but there is a reason we're going to do this. These are the shirts outperforming their 30-day average BSR by a significant margin. Let me know if you see any trends, okay? Yeah, this episode is going to be dedicated to the 100 days of school niche because it is in such high demand right now, and it kind of comes and goes. So you got to get it while the getting's good, and right now the getting is good for this niche. So 100 days of school. And here's a quick glimpse at the top 10. You'll notice some 100 days of school. You'll notice some Valentine's Day. That's really where I'd be focused. I mean, there's so many good niches to be targeting right now. I love certain times a year, and I would say like early to mid-January, even though sales are slow right now, we can really give our future selves a nice gift of sales down the line by focusing on the niches that we know are coming. So niche number one, and this niche is already here, it is 100 days of school, but we're looking at sub niches. So niche number one, 100 days smarter. Now there's different ways to go about this, but 100 days smarter should be integrated into your keywords and your design. This niche is a really fun one because you can go and grab a bunch of these little graphic elements and basically probably tackle each of the sub niches of the 100 days of school niche that we're going to look at in this episode. So I do recommend when you have a design session, make multiple designs for each one of these sub niches and just mix them in with different graphic elements. So 100 days smarter. And I liked this design in particular because it's a little bit counter to the norm that you see on Amazon merch because they optimized it for a white shirt and they've got these like pastel colors that it just stood out. I don't know how else to put it. When I was doing the research, I was like, this one really stands out. And if it catches my eye, it's probably catching customers' eyes. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the best design, but it doesn't always have to be, right? If we just kind of look at the whole pie and say, well, what can we do? It's a little bit differently within this popular niche. Niche number two today is going to be my teacher survived 100 days. So now we're in the 100-day niche, but we are targeting teachers. And it's a funny one. You know, the humorous designs, they usually do well. My teacher survived 100 days. You'll notice that, by the way, with the 100 days of school niche, there's definitely some 101 days designs that you'll see mixed in with Dalmatian, prints, because of the 101 Dalmatian movie, classic from when I was growing up. I don't know how I feel about that one. Like personally, with Amazon merch, I do know how I feel. With Amazon merch, I do not risk anything, right? There's just no point. But if you want to post that to like anywhere else, I wouldn't fault you for it because it's not really a direct infringement. And people who see it get it, right? You got the 101, not the 100 days, and the Dalmatian theme. It's not really something I would probably do, but especially not on Amazon merch. So I just wanted to throw that out there. You can see the number one bestseller is actually, of course, the 101. My teacher survived 101 days of me. By the way, I really like this design, not just because it's optimized for a white shirt, but I just think that, man, that's just a really nicely done design from the, fonts used to how they contrast the different elements. Like when you see this, what pops first? It's the 100 and the days. Even though you can still see, like that's what your eyes go to first, 100 days. And then what do you see? My teacher survived 100 days of me. But the first thing you see is 100 days, and that's why people are buying it. So when you design, or at least when I'm designing, even though I'm not the world's best designer, far from it, I always ask myself, like, the people who buy this, why did they buy it? And it's because it's the 100 days element. At least that's what I think in my mind. So I want that to pop right away when they see it. And the rest is kind of secondary to that because they will take the time to read the rest of it after we kind of subliminally confirm to them and their subconscious you know, because they might be seeing it out of the peripheral of their eyes, you know, of their eyesight. They might not be looking directly at our design, but they may still see it because the 100 days part popped. So that's how I like to design. Niche number 3 this week. Oh, before we get to niche number 3, guys, check out my free print-on-demand mini course linked in the description and my print-on-demand Facebook group, both linked in the description. Niche number 3, level 100 days of school unlocked. So kids who are wearing, or let's say youth, you know, youth size shirts are what we're going to primarily be selling here. Kids wearing them, probably going to love gaming. At least, you know, some of them are. So why not cater to the gamers in the group? You'll notice that the average BSR in the level 100 days of school unlocked, probably the lowest that we've seen so far from these niches. Now, when you're designing the level 100 shirts, right? Level 100 days, you know, obviously putting a gamer twist on it, you're going to want to incorporate some gaming elements. I don't know how I feel about doing the Nintendo Switch because that to me is too obvious, but again, it's your account. You do what you want to do with your account. I feel a lot safer with like the more, you know, I don't know what to say. This is kind of like, what is it? Dreamcast, Xbox, PlayStation, like kind of all mixed into one. Those style controllers is what I would feel a lot safer with. By the way, I was never much of a console gamer after Nintendo 64. Strictly PC computer games for me, which is what led me here today. Basically getting addicted to computer games at age 13 and then just playing every day. You know what I mean? And then having to take life seriously at some point and, you know what I mean? Become a web developer and then become a YouTuber. I don't know, passive income enthusiast, whatever it is I am today. But if you want to design your own level 100 days of school shirts and you're like, Ryan, I love the idea, but how the heck am I going to design that? Check out Creative Fabrica. You can join if you use my link. I'm pretty sure the deal is still active where it's like $4.99 a month. It's the best bang for your buck in terms of any print-on-demand related subscription. Okay, so that's linked in the description. You can get a bunch of different controller graphics. There's so many options. This is one bundle here. So this is a bundle. Here is another bundle. And I'm telling you, there are a bunch of these. So really, there's no excuses. You can get so many good graphics. Then incorporate your own text. If you don't know what font to use, Creative Fabrica has tens of thousands of fonts. I would recommend checking it out. All right, niche number 4, 100 mermazing days. Again, you don't have to understand every niche to sell them. 100 mermazing days. It feels like a stretch. It feels like a stretch. But I don't have kids right now, so I don't know. One day I will. And then maybe one day mermazing will become a word that's a regular part of my vocabulary. I don't really know. Either way, 100 mermazing days is in demand. It's not in the like utmost demand. You know, of the sub niches we've looked at so far, this is the worst seller. So it doesn't mean you shouldn't target it though. Like you can still make some sales here. And typically the better the BSRs on average, the more competition there are, which is why I'm willing to like do a little bit more research than normal and try to find these maybe overlooked opportunities. Okay, so I just had to cut the video and run outside. We have a long driveway covered in snow, and these delivery drivers, I love them, love delivery. But there's a side entrance that's plowed and it's level. The driveway is like on a hill. And this dude kept like rolling backwards down the hill and I had to like run out there in shorts. Not fun in snow and ice. And it wasn't even our stuff. It was for the neighbor. So anyways, that's why I'm like out of breath. Feel bad for them, honestly. Everybody drives hybrid cars that don't handle in the snow. It's weird in this area. Whew. All right, 100 mermazing days. So I just like this guy because look, remember how I was saying earlier, create a nice design and then make multiple versions? Well, I was thinking like have good graphics and then change up the text, but you can also just optimize your designs. Did they even flip the colors? No, I don't even think they flipped the colors, but you could theoretically flip the colors just a little bit, optimize one for a black shirt, one for a white shirt. In this case, they just kept the same colors, uploaded it to 2 separate listings, one pink only, the other black only. So not a bad idea. I swear I'm not out of shape. I was just running hills in the snow. It wasn't easy. I do cardio every day, but I sound like I'm in terrible shape. All right, niche number 5, 100 magical days. And again, unicorn. What else is there to say, guys? You got the unicorns, you got the magic. 100 magical days. BSRs look like the average is about maybe 50,000 out of the top 10. One thing I liked about this though, mixing it for first grade, for kindergarten, for second grade, for third grade, etc. You probably have the highest demand, if I had to guess, in the lower grades. Kindergarten, even preschool, right? Maybe preschool is pushing it though, in terms of like, will the shirt fit them? But hey, a sale's a sale. So 100 magical days of, and then you could say, you don't have to say first grade, second grade, kindergarten, etc., but you could, right? And I like that this designer did that. All right, looking ahead, here we go. These are at least a month out. February 21st, card reading day. February 22nd, George Washington's birthday. February 22nd, also National Chili Day. February 22nd, also National Margarita Day. That sounds miserable on your stomach. You got chili and margaritas. I mean, it sounds like a good time the day of, though. Next day, probably be miserable. February 23rd, Tennis Day. All right, here's the archive. This is 11 months ago. Going to show us what is going to be trending most likely 1 month from right now. So some Black History Month, some St. Patty's Day, and a Cat in the Hat thing, but I would not sell anything Cat in the Hat. Remove designs. So here we go. These were removed in the last 2 weeks, either by the seller or by Amazon. So if you see anything maybe that you are selling, then take a note of that. Otherwise, we'll move on, guys. That's basically the end of the episode. Thank you for watching. Check out my full print on demand course if you want to learn exactly from me how to sell print on demand in an optimal way on Amazon, Etsy, Walmart, eBay, and then the tier 3 marketplaces. On top of that, this includes research and design tutorials and automation tutorials at the end, because I don't think you should rush into that at the beginning. That is linked in the description. And there's a link to my private community where we do multiple weekly live streams. We have great guests. It's a great group, honestly. So if you want to join, link in the description. Thank you for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon with the new video.